All right, y'all, it's Monday. Time to help the people. So very briefly today, I want to go over some mental hygiene things that I've been working on. You may be asking, what is mental hygiene? Well, much like hygiene in the traditional sense, that is you bathing, brushing your teeth, hopefully, cleaning your skin, combing your hair. Why do you do that? It's because you want your physical appearance to be optimal and you don't want to stink. So much in the same way with mental hygiene, you don't want your mind to be a place that stinks. You want your mental space and your spiritual space to be places that are operating optimally. So today, I'm going to go over some of my personal mental hygiene. Take what you need, eat the meat, spit out the bones. If something jumps out at you, feel free to use it. If not, don't. Let's get into it. I like to be quiet and I like to be still. I think we're programmed to constantly be going and moving and thinking and ruminating. And so when you get a chance to just sit there, be quiet, be still, shut your mind down for a little while, it really helps. It almost like it gives you a second wind or a breath of fresh air. It gives your brain a break. And I highly recommend, if you don't know how to do that, because it is a practice, I would say go on YouTube and look up like mindfulness, stillness, quiet meditations. Really helps me out a lot. Next, I like to be alone with my thoughts. Sometimes I haven't realized just how much outside influences and other people's voices, whether it's other actual people that I talk to or looking through social media or in the regular media, just how much they influence me and my headspace and my mental space. So one thing I've practiced doing, and this is something you probably can try too, when you just say you look up a news story or you follow the blogs and the mess and stuff like that, read the headline, read the story, but don't read any comments. After you've read the story, formulate your own opinion first. See what you think about it, see what you feel about it. Then you can go back and read the comments later. But I think it's important for you to always check in with yourself first, because if you start to receive too many outside influences and too much outside information, you almost start to forget what you sound like, your own voice and your own thoughts. So practice just being alone with your own thoughts. Next, I exercise for my mental hygiene. Now notice I didn't say that I like to exercise. I said I do it. I do it because it's necessary. Sometimes, getting your heart pumping, getting your blood flowing, sometimes it's just a mental escape. And furthermore, it's just good for your body. So I highly recommend finding a way to get some exercise in, even if it's just a few times a week, even if it's just 20 minutes a few times a week. Find a way to get your body moving, and let's see what it does for your mind and your mental space. Next, I love to read. I think reading is probably my favorite component of my mental hygiene. Sometimes a good book, you'd be surprised whether you're reading something self-help or reading a biography, or autobiography, fiction. It just gives your brain an escape, and sometimes it puts your brain to work. Either way, it's something that your mind needs. So I highly recommend reading, especially prior to bedtime. I recommend shutting the phone off, shutting the TV off, and reading you a few pages of a book before you go to sleep. And doesn't it improve your quality of rest as well? Next, I'm very mindful about what I'm putting in my body. I know what you're probably thinking. What does that have to do with your mental hygiene? Everything. You'd be surprised with the things you consume, how it affects your brain, how it affects how fast you think, how fast you're able to react, how you're able to process and problem solve. I want to encourage you to put better things in your body. Now, listen, I don't particularly believe in diets. I don't subscribe to, keto or nothing like that. I believe heavily in balance and all things in moderation. So I recommend giving that a try. If you want to know what that looks like, I'll say that looks most like the food pyramid. And the food pyramid we've been looking at since kindergarten, where they tell you should have so many servings of vegetables, so many servings of proteins, and that's more of what I follow. And ever since I started caring more about the things I consume, I felt like I've been in a better headspace. That's just me, but you can try it and see if it works for you. Next, another favorite aspect of my mental hygiene is spending time with people that make me feel good. That's my family, that's my closest friends, that's spending time in like concerts and spaces that just spark joy in me. So highly recommend that. I know I talked earlier about the importance of being quiet, being alone, being with your thoughts. There's a time and place for that, and then there's a time and place for you to receive other people's, energy and the love that they have for you. It really helps. It's good for your mind. So try that. Finally, my last and probably most important mental hygiene practice is laughter. I laugh as much as I can, as often as I can. I laugh loudly from my gut. And I don't know the science behind laughter. I don't know if it releases something, oxytocin or something. I don't even know if I'm using the right words. But laughter legitimately makes you feel better and lighter in a moment. Try to think of a time where you've ever had a good belly laugh and then still had problems or stress or anything on your mind in that very moment. You can't. The two can't coexist. So I encourage you to laugh. I find laughter in everything. It's almost to the point where I don't take anything seriously anymore. So that's a blessing and a curse. But I highly recommend getting you some good laughs in. So I'm done. I hope that helps. As always, govern yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And be good to other people. Matter of fact, include that in the mental hygiene, because being good to other people is good for your mind too. All right. See y'all.